Thank you, President. My question today is for Minister Stitt in her capacity as Workplace Safety Minister. Professor Joanna McLean of Temple University in the US has just completed a landmark research paper studying the impacts of medicinal cannabis legislation on workers' compensation claims. She found that there was a 14% reduction in income derived from workers' compensation claims in older adults aged 40 to 62 in states that had legalised medicinal cannabis. This was in part to a major reduction in people moving away from therapeutic substitutes like opioids. Workers in Victoria, will the Minister move to ensure that employees who have been legally prescribed medicinal cannabis are free from worrying of facing the sack if found with a small amount of THC from their medication in their system?
Thank you, President, and I thank Ms Patten for her question. And of course, supporting injured workers to return to work is a priority. I'm not advised on the specifics of cannabis use in this workers' compensation space, but I'm happy to see what further information I might be able to provide to the member on that point. But what I can say generally is that when considering, modern treatments and medicines, that WorkSafe agents are guided by the WorkSafe non-established new or emerging treatments and services policy. So an agent can consider paying the reasonable costs of non-established new or emerging treatments and services, and that can include medications, equipment, particular surgeries, for example, in exceptional circumstances when it's required as a result of the work-related injury or illness. For that request to be considered by the agent, the requesting practitioner must provide strong clinical evidence of the safety and efficacy of the treatment or service. But as I said, I'm happy to see what other information I might be able to provide, and in addition to the specifics of your question around disciplinary action for any worker. So happy to take that part of the question on notice.
Ms Patten on supplementary.
Yeah. Thanks, Minister. And I think we're seeing a growing number of Victorians using medicinal cannabis, and their concerns at the moment are around workplace drug testing. So by way of a question, would you consider providing advice and developing guidelines for workplaces that do drug testing and on how they resolve the issue with medicinal cannabis patients?
Thank you, President. It's an interesting question, and I think that many employers would already have policies in place in their workplaces around mandatory or random drug testing. So I think that it probably strays a little bit outside of the workplace safety portfolio in that regard, but again, I'm happy to see what information WorkSafe might be able to provide to help the member with this matter.